Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode number 16. For real this time. It's the 1 hour, one brain cell podcast coming to you not live and not from New York. All right, everybody. I'm coming to you live in, I think, 240p, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think Jordan can even see my face, but that's okay. We're going to roll with it here on the 1 hour, one brain cell podcast. I am safely back in the friendly confines of my home studio in beautiful Glendale, Arizona. I survived my flight on a Boeing aircraft. It was a miracle. We did it.
Yeah, you survived not one but two flights on a Boeing aircraft.
Yes.
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 That's nicely done. No, it's so funny too because I was just thinking about it. I was like, between the last time we released a podcast and to now, you left the state, visited me, returned to your home state. I had stitches put in my face. The stitches sat in there for a week and then were removed, hung out with you, and now you're back and we have nothing to show for it because we didn't record a podcast episode while you were here. So we're backtracking. We didn't. Anyway, happy 2 weeks off.
Happy 2 weeks off. Not for the lack of trying, folks. Trust us. The reason why we missed you a couple weeks ago is because we actually did record an entire episode, and it was a banger. It was a banger of an episode, and we celebrated the anniversary of the record by Boy Genius, and it was great. And then I forgot to download the damn thing, and so when I went to go download it the next day, it was gone and gone forever. So it's our lost episode. So we now have podcast lore to talk about.
It's true, and it only took us about 15 episodes to get lore, but like, you will never see the Chubby Bunny challenge that I did. You'll never see us talk about our Easter candy hot takes. Like the whole thing is now the lost episode.
Oh, we forgot to do that while I was there too. While I was visiting.
Well, I didn't buy any big marshmallows though. I still only have the little ones, which I feel like is cheating the game. Anyway. Can I tell you, I forgot in the 2 weeks that we weren't here about how much of a like banger that our intro music is. Because I was listening to you play it just now, and I was like, it's got some jazz to it. That's good. We might be able to make a remixed version now that we have a little extra footage. That'll be coming soon for you guys. But now that we have a little extra footage, we might be able to put some of that in there and make a version 2 podcast intro.
Yeah, we've been doing this for 15 plus episodes, so we got plenty now. We got plenty.
We have material now. That's great.
Yes, so exactly. Great. Exactly. All right, well, let's see. Oh, I don't even have the show notes pulled up. Oh boy.
Oh, and we were doing so well too. Like, I thought you did because we went straight into our first point and then we just did that accidentally well. Failing upward.
This is what happens when we take 2 weeks off. Richie is unprepared.
Richie's at least a little prepared. I don't know. You got this whole thing together, so don't sell yourself too short. Just a little.
So here's what we missed while we were gone. We missed an earthquake in New York City. We missed the solar eclipse. We missed the release of the first trailer for Joker 2. We missed the Final Four, men's and women's Final Four. We're gonna bring back the Formula 1 hour Formula 1 brain cell segment because we missed the Suzuka GP a couple weeks ago. So we got a lot to talk about. We're gonna get into kind of what happened on my trip to visit, and other stuff too. So what should we get into first here? Should we just get into some of our memes that we missed?
Yeah, we might as well. It's a jam-packed show, so we gotta keep it brisk over here. We suddenly have a lot to talk about.
All right. Um, let's start with the New York City earthquake, which I swear I had forgot happened until I looked at the rundown today. It's like, oh wait, yeah, that actually did happen, didn't it?
I also think it's important to note that one, I don't think the epicenter was in New York City, but just because they were like west of Manhattan, she's just like nobody wanted to claim that it actually happened in New Jersey, which I think is where that was. But second thing that's important to note is I put it in the show notes as the New York City motherquake. Let's address that. You want to do
Go
it?
ahead.
You want me to
Go ahead. Yeah.
looking at me like he just wants me to keep going. I'm like, okay, bet. There have been, and I think we've mentioned this on a previous episode, but there have been a number of occasions of like global events where it has been so much fun to be chronically online. And this and the solar eclipse that we'll talk about later, in I don't know if it was the same week or if it was like the following week, but they were, calendar wise, very close together. And those were two iconic occasions to be chronically online for because of the number of memes that people were dumping onto the internet about it.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was just like there were so many people that were saying like the New York City earthquake like made me realize that I don't want to die in a studio apartment. Or there were a lot of people that were like, I was pretty sure it was just the train until I realized I don't live above the subway. But then there were also people that were going crazy and was like, sorry, that was me. I tripped and fell down the stairs. And I sent Richie a screenshot. I'll see if I can find it real quick. But it was absolute chaos and like pandemonium on Twitter, where it was, I just took a screenshot of what my Twitter timeline looked like. I have it right here. I found it. It was these were all sequential, but it was breaking no contact to ask if he felt the earthquake. Very funny. Can you imagine how humiliating this would be for us if the Californians were awake? Third was an ad that I got rid of because it was probably like Liver King or something stupid because those keep coming up on my timeline. I don't want to see them. Or it's like it was like selling t-shirts. And so I had hit like, don't show me this ad. And so it's just a thing that's like, thanks, X will use this to make your timeline better. So that's in the middle of all this. And then it's, I don't want to die in a studio apartment in all caps. I'm glad New Yorkers got the earthquake protocol of tweeting first, safety second, correct? The final one, sorry, y'all, I jumped without a bra. And then at the very top, it's that at POTUS is hosting. So like the Joe Biden Twitter account was live doing a space in the middle of all this. And there was an aura about that screenshot that I felt had to be captured. That New York did a really great job of proving that they might be funnier than California in the event of a major, climate emergency.
I had this thing pulled up where it's like gives me all the memes from it, and it's like asking me for a dang email address. Like, no, I'm not going to give you my email address, random website. I just want to look at memes. I just want to look at the memes. And I want to show the people.
They were crazy. They were off of it. Where it was a picture of. I wish I knew which member of. I think it was a member of Migos, but it's a guy that's like on his phone texting. And people usually use it as a way of being like, sliding back into your ex's text messages or something with something totally random. But it was like, this earthquake got me thinking about you, like,
right.
And how you really shook me up or rocked my world. Like, hope your little cousin is doing well at karate class. The earthquake was JoJo Siwa promo. Yeah, all of it was. I think we could talk about that, but I refuse to talk about JoJo Siwa. The eclipse and the earthquake happening all at once. That was like, it would convince someone, 2,000 years ago that the world was about to end.
First of all,
all of it was
here's
so
some
good.
Wendy Williams.
The Statue of Liberty. No, the one it was somebody had posted the video from the top of the Statue of Liberty. It's that picture. Um
Hmm.
it was from the top of the Statue of Liberty, and it looked like the Statue of Liberty was taking a 0.5 of herself because it was the
Oh
camera that's
yeah.
like up in the
Yes.
torch and it
Yes.
was this way, and they
Yes.
had posted how it shakes, but it was like the Statue of Liberty taking an icy 0.5 right now.
There's Tom Brady reaction memes.
Mm-hmm.
Some good ones. Here's my question for you. Have you being from Arizona like myself,
Mm-hmm.
uh, have you ever experienced an earthquake? I have, actually, believe it or not.
Not that I know of, but we did start getting tornadoes now that you don't have, which is also a really eerie experience,
No
especially
thanks.
for those of us that played the Silent Hill video games as a kid, because you'll get like the fog and then the tornado sirens. You're like, I think I actually might be approaching my last hours on Earth. Let me go in
No
the
thanks.
bathtub and hide. And I'm in a second floor apartment, so I'm like, let me just go in the bathtub and hide real quick. Like, there's nothing I can do. I can't be in this room because there's a window right there. I can't
Right?
be in my bedroom because there's a window right there. Although last year I had this big sliding glass door that was in my bedroom, and I slept through multiple fairly aggressive tornado warnings, just unbothered, and woke up in the morning and I was like, oh, that was the thing that happened, and the sirens were going off, and I had no recollection of it. I slept straight through it, unbothered.
Twisters. Twisters, the movie.
I don't know if I'm excited for that reboot or not excited for that reboot. I haven't determined my stance yet.
We'll find out when it comes out. Yeah, so I have experienced an earthquake, albeit for like 10 seconds ish or
Hmm.
whatever. This was back when I was in college and happened on Easter Sunday.
Really?
Yeah, happened
I
in
mean,
Arizona. Happened
that
in
means I
Arizona.
must have seen it, but I don't remember it.
Let me look it up and see if I can get the exact date. Here we go.
Yeah.
Arizona earthquake. Because I remember going to class the next day and be like, "Did y'all like experience the earthquake?" And we're like, "Yeah, it was strange. It was the weirdest feeling in the history of mankind." Okay, here we go. Blah, 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 Arizona earthquake. No, that's that. Oh, god dang it! It's not giving me anything. This is stupid. This
Hmm.
is oh, a brief history of earthquake activity in Arizona. Let's do that. Let's see
A
if it
brief
tells me
history of the internet.
anything.
A brief inquiry into online relationships by the 1975.
All right, let's see here. 2005, 2014. Was it? Oh, I bet you. I wonder if this. Nope,
Well, it
that's
can't have
not
been
it.
2014 because you weren't an undergrad then.
I was for 5 months.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it was back in college. It was like 2010, 2011, and there was like it felt like the room was spinning. It was the weirdest thing. I was like,
Really?
wait, do I have like
Huh.
this? Yeah, like do I have this weird like headache or something? And I was like,
Like, am
no,
I
that was
concussed?
yeah. I was like, that's no, dude, that was an earthquake. Like nothing shook or anything, right? Or nothing fell off the
Yeah.
walls, but it was just like tiny bit of spinny going on. It was the strangest feeling. Thank God I've never heard done it doing again. So one of the beautiful things about living in Arizona is that no natural disasters except for wildfires, and that's
Sure.
about
That's
it.
a
Like
that's a
we don't
natural
get
disaster.
tornadoes, no earthquakes, no volcanoes,
That's
no
true.
none of that crazy crap that happens across the rest of the country. It's like nope, we just have to stay inside during the summer and we're good.
No, that's true. You just simply get burned alive, and your flesh melts off your skin every summer. But no big deal. We'll compromise. We'll compromise.
All right, let's move on to the other thing that we missed, which is the solar eclipse,
Hmm.
which you got to experience in person, which is pretty cool.
I did. That was the first time I can recollect being in the path of totality, which was really really cool. Um, and for those of you that haven't seen it or know what it's like, it's pretty standard up until a point, and we were all like sitting. I was out of my apartment complex with a bunch of other people that live here, and we were all kind of sitting out there, which also is a luxury. I didn't have to travel anywhere. I went out to my parking lot and sat in my parking lot with a lawn chair and a pair of eclipse glasses and was like getting a tan. Um, and at some point, you're like, it's temperature wise, it feels colder. So I was out there in like a t-shirt and shorts. It was like a 70-degree sunny day. It was, good weather. I was like, should I have put pants on? And it was really strange because the sun was still out, but all of a sudden it wasn't quite so bright. All of a sudden it wasn't quite so warm. You're like, this is really strange. And then as that progresses, it was like nighttime at, whatever time it was. It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that. And it was dark. It was really strange. Just for about, 30 seconds before, we got totality, you could look out into the back of our little complex and all the streetlights started turning on because the ambient light was so low that they were like, time to turn on. So the streetlights came on, and I guess, the birds were like, it's nighttime now, which was really strange, but it was just a bunch of people that were out watching it. And then it gets really dark, and at that point you can look without your glasses on, and it has that sort of halo around the sun, and that was really cool. But to be a part of it is fun. I don't know if I vibe with the people that traveled thousands of miles to go be in the path of total. Like, I don't think it's that serious. It was really cool, but I'm not like, witness the astounding spectacle and the celestial power of nature. I'm like, no, it's the sun is gone for a minute. We're good. And then I immediately went on Twitter and was like scrolling through everything, and it was people that were posting screenshots of the Twilight movie Eclipse. It's like, can't believe school let us out to watch Eclipse. And that was funny, and we were all over here posting Twilight memes and Eyes on Fire, and that was funny. But then there's also no, that's true. There's also did you see that thing that was like they were tracking Google searches for My Eyes Hurt?
Yes,
and
that was great.
This what is that? Oh my god.
That's Leonardo DiCaprio in the clouds.
And the spike of searches that were My Eyes Hurt followed the path of totality, which was so wild because you could tell the people weren't looking without their glasses on. I was too afraid. I was on FaceTime with my mom trying to show her, which it doesn't work real well, but like, you put the glasses over top of your phone camera, and I kind of pointed it up, and it doesn't really convey it quite so well, but was like, I'm even too afraid to point my phone at this without the glasses on it. So I was like hiding behind my phone with the glasses over top of it, like, don't look. And the optometrists the next day are like, this is about to be good. They could feel their pockets expanding.
I didn't see this National Park Service tweet until just now. Sun, it's me. Hi, I'm the brightest. It's me. You. I'll slow directly at the sun, but never without solar filters.
That's true. There was a tweet the day before. It was like, somebody get Taylor Swift a pair of Eclipse glasses because I'm worried she's going to stare directly at the sun. It was arguably very funny.
There we go. This is a good one too with Pokemon. There's Pokemon Sun. And here comes Pokemon Moon.
All right, I'll give you points for creativity on that one. That is funny.
Oh yeah. I am bummed. So I was not very excited about the eclipse before it happened, but I just happened to be near TV, so I was watching like the CNN coverage or whatever, and I was like, man, this is actually pretty cool if you think about it. And so like, it was cool to watch on CNN. You can just see it on TV and experience it that way. It was really cool. But somebody made a good point. I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was one of the scientists that CNN had on. This was smart and genius and cool. And one of the reasons why I enjoyed it so much is like, it was a point in time in which the entirety of the United States of America that was in the totality, which was something like 20 million people or something like that, right? Like these millions and millions of people who, in other ways, may not have very much in common at all in terms of, et cetera, whatever it may be. But for, 4 minutes or whatever in the path of totality, everybody was looking up and like understanding their place in a universe for like just that amount of time. And I thought that was really cool. As somebody who was like a space nerd like myself, like I thought it was like I wish we had more of that. Like just a little bit more humanist, I guess. I consider myself a humanist, so that's kind of how I look at the universe in a way. So to experience that was really cool. To have all those people just experiencing the same thing at the same time was really cool.
That's good perspective. There's nothing like a major cosmic celestial event to remind you that you are floating on a rock that is floating through outer space. That's scary to think about. Do not ponder your own mortality. It's not good for you.
That's not what this podcast is about, dang it.
No, this podcast is about avoiding all of that. Blissful, willful ignorance.
Willful ignorance. That was the second name for the podcast. We were almost going to call it that.
1 hour, 1 moment of willful ignorance. Yeah.
A little bit too
long.
That
didn't really poll well with focus groups for whatever reason.
No. All right. Joker 2 memes. This was great. I saw a couple that were really funny. My favorite being people calling it haha land.
I'm all for it. Let's do that. I was trying to remember when I put this down on the sheet. Did we talk about like songs we wanted to hear?
Yeah. Yes.
In Joker 2 in the Lost episode, or did that make it into La La Land Norris?
I think that was La La Land Norris. Yeah.
Okay. Hello. So anyway, I thought that was really funny. I just hit the crap out of my microphone arm, and I'm wondering if you're gonna be able to hear the metallic clang. Yeah, there was all of that.
Did you hit your funny bone?
No, I did not hit my ulnar nerve. That's not a bone, by the way. It's when you do that, it's the nerve that passes over the olecranon process, which is the bony part right there. But it's actually like when you contact that nerve because it's very close to the surface. Sorry, anatomy podcast.
Yeah, there you go. No, actually,
that's what it is. It's not a bone. It's because you got your nerve.
I didn't know about that. That's cool. I actually enjoyed that.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. My job here is done. That's why I owe money to the government in student loans, is to learn information like that. But back to Joker 2.
Back on track.
Taking Lady Gaga's Nurtec ODC ad and product placing it wherever they possibly could inside of the Joker 2 trailer. And having seen it, I remain convinced that they're going to make him sing Creep. Right? There's no way you don't take some just absolutely mainstream like I'm so twisted and not normal song and make him sing it. There's no way. It's going to be like Something in the Way from Batman, but it's going to be Creep by Radiohead.
Yeah, I can see that coming. Absolutely.
I'm so convinced. Like somebody tweeted it, and now I'm just convinced that it's going to happen because
what if we get instead of Poker Face, we get Joker Face?
I would actually probably walk out. Well, to be fair, I'm not going to see it as it is, but I might walk out of my own apartment if I ever stream it. Yeah. I might walk out of my own apartment. We'll see. Maybe we'll get a track list ahead of time. We could do bingo. We could try and predict it and do Joker 2 bingo.
That's so true. What is it? Hang on. I know what this is.
Instead of Joker 2.
I'm doing so. I'm doing so good.
Just let it end. Just let it end.
Here we go. We're going to continue on with some of these memes here. Whoever thought of casting Lady Gaga in a psychological thriller musical was a bleeping genius. Joker 2 is literally the movie she was born to star in. Every step in the trajectory of her career led to this moment. One of my favorites is La La Land for people on SSRIs. Now, I don't know, you probably saw that same exact one and thought the same thing. Well, wait, isn't La La Land the La La Land for people on SSRIs?
No. La La Land is for those of us who are Well, I guess you can make that argument. La La Land is simply for those of us that are tapped into our own creative well and the beauty of cinema and live music and that one strand of hair that falls down on Ryan Gosling's face whenever he plays the piano. You wouldn't understand because you only gave it 2.5 stars on
2.5
Letterboxd or
stars
whatever
on
it was.
Letterboxd. Yes, that's
You
true.
didn't understand the beauty of it.
So we're the gays. We're the
No, that's true.
straights. We're the straights. All right. Do we have some in between?
We have some in betweens.
Some in betweens. No
No.
way. The people with the question marks on them. Oh, that's foul. Who did that? Who put that old lady in the in betweens? Wait. No way.
This is a clip from the Tyra Banks show. There they are. There's the in betweens.
Oh, she might not be old. She might just have Phoebe Bridgers hair. That may just be platinum blonde. Okay.
Hang on. Yeah, let's here.
Can we get a
in betweens? Are
can we get a focus on that girl?
Yeah, I think it looks to me like she just got blonde hair.
She's just very platinum blonde. All right. I was like, don't do that to that old lady.
Do we have some in betweens? Are there some in betweens?
That would be a really fun group Halloween costume, but maybe too deep of a niche for some people to know.
Right? Let's see.
Talk to me if it's about Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn.
I hope Joker
Where's
2 is
the-
amazing. Has a bunch of incels involuntarily become huge Lady Gaga fans.
No, that's true. Like the audience is going to be very split between people that are
Yes.
solely there for Gaga and people that are there for Joker, and they're going to fist fight in the parking lot after the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're clowns. We're clowns. We basically are clowns. We're like.
We need to have these. We need to have this one on as like in our intro here. This is us.
We're clowns. We basically are clowns. We're like.
Or maybe me.
I've said
maybe
it
just
before.
me.
No, I've said. Yeah, I'm saying I've said it before. I'll say it again. That's you. That's you, girl. Own up to it. Removed Stonemason Kith's clown makeup.
Speaking of being a clown. By the time y'all listen to this, Torture Poets will be out. Comes out
That's
on
so
April
true.
19th. So by the time y'all hear this, it will be out. But I did see some tweets going around on a recording day on Sunday when Taylor put out a screenshot or a picture of the Target clear vinyl, and people were like trying to like zoom in on the vinyl, and people think they've spotted Aaron Dessner's name in it.
Fork Founding Kitchen.
So
a new Taylor Swift album, Aaron Dessner, Fork Founding Kitchen.
So I was hoping that's very true. Although I tried to do it and you can't see. It's way too damn blurry. It's like you can't tell. It's a conspiracy theory.
It's just like your video quality right now. It's in 240p. You're actually back to 480 right now, so it's fine. That's acceptable.
That's so stupid.
Richie was messing with this for about 5 minutes before we actually started recording, and it
didn't
is
help.
No, it's gradually improving, maybe a little bit. I don't know as I say that, but whatever. Let's you can't stop us.
We're an audio podcast too, so you don't have to watch us.
You know, we say that, but our latest couple of episodes have really got a lot of traction on YouTube, and I think we did our little shout out in the lost episode, but we hit like 100 Spotify listeners and 1,000 views on all of our stuff combined on YouTube. So if we haven't already said thank you for following along with us on this strange and enchanted little podcast.
Ridiculous program.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's see. I got one more thing that I put on here because I want to know if you can describe it to me because I don't know where the hell this started and it made me feel really old. Which is this thing people are doing the "What's up, brother?" Do you know where that started?
I have no idea.
You're around the children around the children at the pool.
No, I have no idea. I don't know what it is. I don't care to find out. It feels like a thing. No, it feels like a thing that I simply don't care to know. I don't
Neither do
know
I.
where
So
it,
we'll move on.
but if it also feels like it's a very specific niche of people that have known what it is, and it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's not for me. I'm not on that online community. I'm more likely to be in the online community that says that Joker 2 is La La Land for people on SSRIs. So we'll leave it there. It's not for us to know.
We'll leave it a mystery, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's move on. It is now time. Let's
Untold
get
mysteries.
into Untold Mysteries. Yes. Did you ever finish the true crime documentary that you were watching the other day? Do you know who did it?
No, I still don't know who did it. It's the new one that just came out on the site that will not be named because we're still angry about them for canceling
yes.
Warrior Nun, but I'm only
Yes.
like halfway through. So I'll be sure to keep you posted on who did it.
Keep me posted. All right, here we go. Let's dive into our weekly segment, everybody. 1 hour. No, frick me. Gosh darn it. It's not the
Dang
name
it,
of the
Richard.
segment.
You were doing so well too.
Oh, you know what I should have done? It's 1 hour, one brain cell. That's the name of the podcast. Follow us at OHOBC Pod, wherever you get your information. That's what I was trying to do. See? Just keep
Okay.
everybody on
Yeah.
their toes.
Mhm.
The name of the segment is Formula 1 Hour, Formula 1 Brain Cell. Cue the music.
Okay, that's enough.
Formula 1 Hour, Formula 1 Brain Cell. Suzuka GP edition. Now we're a little late getting around to this, but we'll hit the high points here. We have a double podium for Red Bull once again.
You know that's still going in the background, right?
Yes, we're gonna leave it underneath.
Okay. Oh, we're leaving it underneath. Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
You're the boss. You're the production boss.
Yeah. Music bed. Yeah.
There you go.
Why not?
All right. There you go. No, I'm with you.
Yeah. So we get a one
because it's gonna get us copyrighted on YouTube, but whatever. We're already there. They can do what they want.
Oh yeah, they would sue us.
Please don't sue us. We don't have any money. we don't have any money. I can't pay that. I just had to owe the government, the state, a lot of money on my taxes, which is garbage, by the way.
I agree. Yes.
By the time we're releasing this, it will not be tax day anymore, but like tomorrow is tax day. And the fact that they are able to take money out of our paycheck, just dip in there on every paycheck, and then also at the end of the year demand give us more or you go to jail, is wild to me. I still love, it's like every year the tweet comes back that is it's like the foundation, not the foundation, but like this is the gist of what taxes are, is like, give us money. Okay, how much? Surprise. And then you're like, okay, I don't know, $50. And then it's like government jail, smiley face. Sure. Just tell me how much I owe you. Don't play games with me. Don't do this. Anyway, back to Suzuka.
Back to Suzuka. We got a 1-2 for Red Bull. Got a Carlos Sainz podium finish. Chuck Leclerc. Finished fourth. Yes, we do. And so I think the story of the entire race was our buddy Chuck, who somehow, some way managed to one-stop that entire race and got screwed out of a podium by his own teammate.
Yeah. Well, I'll say, I think if I'm not mistaken, it was his own idea to run that plan, to run the one stopper, where they had everybody else had planned on two, but they had an onboard radio with him where he's like, we can push, we can keep going. Like, I don't need to stop here. And we saw this happen a handful of races ago with Lewis, like defending on 39 lap old medium tires or something stupid. And it happened again with Leclerc this week, where he was defending on age-old tires. And there's the meme that goes around that's like, just say no to tire degradation. Tires cannot legally degrade without your consent. And he had a great race. He was driver of the day overwhelmingly so, I think. And I get that Carlos was lapping faster than him, but I do think that maybe the strategy should have been to try and let Leclerc podium, but whatever it is, I'm not the boss over at Ferrari. It doesn't really matter to me. And again, they ran a great race, both of them. The Carlos Sainz revenge tour continues. He's arguably the hottest commodity for a seat next year. We saw this week there were some rumors about Mercedes that seemed to be unfounded, but rumors on that front, rumors about maybe Aston Martin, although Fernando Alonso just signed a new contract and Lance Stroll has an indefinite contract, essentially. So we'll see what happens, but it'll be interesting to see where he goes, because he's proving that he's a really great driver, and as he did when he was back at McLaren as well. But
So Leclerc kind of stole the show, I think, for the most part. Other things to note: congratulations to Yuki Tsunoda getting into the points in his home race, which was really cool. Yuki's having a great season this year. It's probably the best season of his career so far. Really by far, to be honest. He's just missed the points in a couple races, got into the points in other, doing really well in that lead seat, really smoking Daniel Ricciardo pretty much at every turn, which is great.
Yeah, I foresee him staying in some capacity next year. I don't know whether it'll be with RB or whether it'll be with a different team, but I think he's proving that he's driving well enough to get a seat somewhere. The back of the field, TBD. Although I think Bottas is doing an admirable job at Sauber for how rough that team is. He's doing an okay job. He's keeping him in. Yeah, no gigapits this week, thank goodness. They're finally figuring it out. It is funny too to hear the broadcast acknowledge that, because they were like, well, ring the bells. Like, Sauber had a normal pit stop for once, and it was like 5 seconds or something. But the rest of us watching were like, that was actually kind of fast. So anyway, he's doing a good job. Yuki's doing a good job in the back there. Alex Albon and Logan Sargent are currently having the world's weirdest crash off with the Williams car, but who knows what's happening with that. It's just infinite damage.
I saw something earlier where they've spent $2 million already, like trying to
I think
get the
somebody
Yeah.
tallied it. It was like the Destructors Championship, and it was like Albon is at the top for binning a couple of cars. Lance Stroll is in there for binning it once. I think it was Joe maybe is there because he binned it once, and then he had a gearbox issue, I think, in Suzuka where they retired his car. And then everybody else was just like random floor damage. There were a couple of other people that were on the list for that. Kevin Magnussen for his random perfect defense stint in which he also collided with somebody, but it is what it is.
And the thing that sucked about that race is, of course, we had a red flag on literally the first dang lap of the race for half an hour because Danny Rick crashed and with Alex
Danny
Albon,
and Alex
right?
ran into each other. Yeah. It was like turn 2, and I was awake at 1 a.m. to watch this stupid race, and then they red flagged at literal turn 2 and stalled for 30 minutes. I was like, why did I wake up for this? I'm just going to go back to sleep.
I said, you'll have revenge on me when we get to the summer season. Good on you. I'm proud of you. I'm really proud of you for being able to do that, to be honest, because I don't think I would have. I would have fallen asleep for sure. So like I said, they'll get revenge on me come the summer when they're racing in Europe. And the races start at 6 a.m. here in Phoenix, and there's no chance I'm waking up for any of those races. So
yeah,
I told you,
like,
feel free to text me
on my couch. Yeah. I will. I'll text you updates.
Feel free to send me.
You're not going to see it.
And then I'll just wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning and get a recap of the race in text form.
That's true. That might not be the worst thing ever. That was like that time that I slept through Australia. Although nothing good happened in Australia. We're not talking about that. So. Nothing good for me personally happened in
forgettable.
Australia. Yeah.
That's so true. So true. All right, let's move on and talk about some of the things that when I hopped on a plane and I flew out to Indiana for the first time, got to hang out with Jordan in B-Town, Indianapolis, talk about some of the fun extravaganza that we had. I put down some green flags and some red flags here for us, so
I see
feel
this.
free
Yeah.
to
I'm going to get those ready.
add on. Some of them are, yes,
Okay.
I got them up.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
First green flag is adopting cats.
That's true. I support your local shelter, your local adoption center, your local cat cafe if you have one. This was a really cool little event that they had. They had a bunch of local sort of vendors and things like that you posted up and were selling like clothing, handmade things. Just a little like almost like a farmer's market, but more so for goods and things. And they had the cat lounge in town, and I think they had 15 cats, and they adopted out 5 of them just on Saturday. And so 5 cats found new, good, loving, forever homes. Not evil bestie, Richie's evil bestie. Not actually evil, by the way, just like wanted to play and wanted to play and was kind of feisty. If you saw the video that Richie tweeted out on the brand account, there was he got a little like nibble from one of the cats, and we started calling it Evil Bestie. But Evil Bestie is still available to a good home, and one of our favorites, our little Shy King, our black and white cat, also has not found a home yet, but I sense that to be coming soon because he was just super friendly, and it's also a good way to get to know a potential pet. Like if you're in the market for adopting, it's a good way to get to know a potential pet in a more chill setting where they can, wander and be themselves and stuff, and you get to see what their personality actually looks like rather than just in a shelter where it's kind of scary for everybody. So support your local cat cafe.
A lot of them were very sleepy, cute cats.
They were. It must have been nap time or something. All of the little cat trees that had like the spaces in them, there was a cat curled up asleep in probably 90% of the sleeping spaces. It was really great.
And then we had a little kitten, and that was super cute too because it like didn't want to leave its little cubby hole.
That one got adopted.
Really?
Yeah, that one got adopted.
Yay.
Yeah, it was a little afraid to leave the cat tree and go hang out with people. There were some little toys around there, so we were like pushing the little ball of yarn in there, and it wanted to play with the yarn, but it was a little afraid to get off the tree and go walk around with people. But yeah, that one got adopted, the little kitten.
I love that. That's adorable. That's
green flag.
Cute. Green flag for sure. All right, another green flag. Going for a minuscule gap and completing the overtake. Green flag.
That's true. Sometimes you just gotta lick the stamp and send it. That was fun. We have a video coming out as soon as I get it edited, which is hopefully, yeah. Well, the race footage is edited, so we have a video coming out probably the middle of this week, as long as I can stay on track for it. It's going to go into our bonus brain cells out there on the YouTube channel. Richie and I did a little kart racing, and we didn't really settle anything as far as like technically who is the better driver, because I think we had the same number of overtakes on each other. It just evened out, but that was a lot of fun. I would for sure do that again, except I did get T-boned by a child. Yeah, that was less fun, but the actual race part itself was super cool. If you have like a go-kart race, place near you, go try that out. If you think you might be a little bit into motorsports or into F1 or whatever, like your stupid hosts are. It's fun to get a little intense about it and try and overtake and all that good stuff. But it was, I think I said this before, that we were going to be out there like wrecking some kid's birthday party trying to get P1, and it legitimately was a kid's birthday party that we just got tacked on to the end of. I mean, they were all old enough to drive the adult carts, but it was like, can we have the birthday party and also Richie and Jordan to the pits? And we were like,
these two other randos.
Yeah, it was like, can we get these two other randos and people who, definitely a couple of people on this list, I have like the results here, but definitely a couple of people on this list who are related because they have the same last name. It was like the kid's birthday party and these two random walk-ins that are gonna take it too seriously. So. But we have that set. So
yes, I would just like to point out that I think we both of us agree that the results are a little tiny bit skewed. You'll see why in some of the racing footage that's coming out. But for whatever reason, first of all, they started us mid-pack because we didn't.
Yeah, they started us at the back. They started us at the back. There was no qualifying. There were 11 people, so we were probably, and I don't know if there was anybody behind me in starting position. I didn't look to see if there was anybody behind me. But it may have been maybe one or two people. So we were, if we're only counting 11 people, we were probably P9 and P10 out of 11, just because we got randomly placed back there. And so that was rough. That was rough starting in traffic. I wish we had a qualifying lap. Or at least a formation lap to get the tires warmed up and stuff, because everybody was skidding all over the place. Yeah.
So that's the big thing. So we'll do it again at some point. We'll have like a rematch, and we'll see who's best, because Jordan was caught in traffic for a lot of the race, whereas I wasn't. I had clean air for the most part, so I was able to just kind of run my own race.
But to be fair, I will give you credit for this, that he did lap faster than me. There was traffic, but he finished just off of the podium, and you'll see in the race footage, I think maybe in penalties, retroactive penalties, he would have finished on the podium, but he did go faster than me, except for some of his own penalties. But yeah, that was a fun race. I would for sure do that again. And we both have $5 off the next visit, so we'll see. Maybe next time.
I was bummed. My goal was to first of all not crash, which I didn't.
That's true.
I didn't finish dead last. That was my like bottom line. Like, I just don't want to embarrass myself, and I did that. I didn't embarrass myself. Felt like I raced really clean for the most part. Couple beats and bangs a couple times, but Rubbin's racing. All right.
Yeah.
So
a couple little bumping racing incidents.
But no damage. So we got away clean. I was bummed upon seeing the results. I did not get under 30 seconds. I really wanted to get under 30 seconds and like get in the leaderboard. Didn't quite do that. But I also there were a couple of red flags mixed in. So like there's a couple times where I think the red flags kind of screwed up the momentum a little bit.
Yeah, we did get stopped for a bit, for kind of a long while on, looks like lap 2. I don't know, you're going to be able to see that big peak on the graph right there. This is everybody's lap time. And that's when we all got red flagged for like probably 3 or 4 minutes, because I had to cut it out of the footage, so I know approximately how long it was. Yeah, we had to sit there because there was a cart with a mechanical issue. But yeah, a couple of times, like, I don't know if it was just me or if it was you as well, but I felt like I was getting slowed down. Like when I was trying to accelerate, it was like I was getting manually speed reduced a couple of times, just really early, where it was like I was kind of stuttering. And I don't know if it was just because people were almost crashing. There's one where you almost binned somebody that I have in the footage because someone spun out directly in front of you. And I think the people that were watching the race assumed there might be a crash, so they kind of slowed everybody, because I got hit with a little like speed check that I didn't do. So there was some of that happening as well, where they can manually adjust the speed if somebody goes into the wall or spins out or whatever, and prevent it from getting crazy. It's essentially a virtual safety car, but yeah, that was fun. I'd be interested to do it on a day when there was less traffic and see what we can really get lapping.
Exactly. It would be the one thing I would like to do is do like a head-to-head race and just literally have just you and me head-to-head, same starting
Head-to-head.
position, and go.
Or at least like with our little friend group. Like, I wonder how much that would be if we called and tried to book like a 5 or 6 person race and just assembled the friends over Christmas break or something, and tried to get people that we know.
Yeah.
And less of a party size, because 11 people on the track is pretty full. There were a couple races that we saw ahead of us that had 5 or 6 or even 7 people, but just reducing it by 3 or 4 carts on track makes a big difference.
The cool part about having the bigger one is like there is a little bit more racy, which was cool. Like if you have less, you're just kind of doing by yourself. But here, like I felt like both you and I were able to get a little racy at times. You'll see in the footage going 3 wide a couple times, going to corners, and that was the fun part. Is like I had so much fun. Like when I was passing people, it made me feel so cool. I'm like,
yeah, it's fun to actually get to overtake, and when you have a big field like that, there's almost always somebody directly in front of you that you can go get. So,
and so like you'll see in the footage, we go green, and I think I passed somebody in the first lap, like very first lap of the race.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out because it would have been turn 1, 2. You got him on turn 3. It was like the first sector where Richie literally sent it around this guy and then ended up sticking him in front of me for a while. But it was what it was. But yeah, that was nicely done. It was a good overtake. Unfortunately, Richie's onboard audio didn't work because our Bluetooth decided to be mean to us. But he's got definitely some really good footage still that we were able to cut together. And I don't know how long this video is going to be, but hoping for maybe something like 11 or 12 minutes, because we got 9 minutes of just race footage, but I don't think we shot that much extra B-roll, so it might be a pretty condensed, pretty smooth, pretty efficient. We'll see.
Anyway, yeah, so I made that first overtake, and then like that's when I got my confidence. So like, all right, I can do this. I can roll, because like it took some time to kind of get used to the accelerator brake. And my theory of the case was, being it was an electric cart, I almost never use the brake that often, like almost never. I just lit off the gas and did that. And then only time I was under braking is if somebody was in front of me. Basically, that's the only time I really was using the brake, so I didn't hit them, or at least try not to hit them. So that's my word of advice. If you're out there going kart racing and it's an electric cart, you don't really need to brake, because since it's electric, take your foot off the gas, that slows you down.
It does. Yeah, it did slow down.
A little drifting.
The people that were really locking up and understeering a lot, I think, were the ones that were heavy on the brakes, because everybody's heavy on the acceleration because you want to go fast, but you can't be too heavy on the brakes or you'll spin. And we were seeing people lock up like crazy in this one corner in the middle that I think we both avoided doing that. So maybe that was.
I did it. Yeah, I did a couple times where I had a little. There's one time where I told you like afterwards where I almost lost the car completely, but I was able to reconfigure. I don't know, going back, and I couldn't remember what lap it was on or when it happened, but I'm sure if you go and watch the footage, you can find it, because my hands probably do this.
That's true. I didn't find it when I was scrubbing through it, but I can go look and see if I can pull that footage.
Side note, my arms hurt after that race. Like, I'm still sore today, 24 hours later. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, dude. Come on. This isn't like your afternoon drive, man. It's a full. That tells you how much I was white knuckling the damn steering wheel. And like, because if you watch the footage, and you'll see my head isn't straight the entire time because I'm doing this. And so like I was using my whole body.
You were also doing a lot of looking behind you that I was able to see, which is good because it prevents you from crashing other people. But it's like there's a little bit of footage that I had to like crop because it was like motion sickness simulator. It was like a Baz Luhrmann movie.
It was
It's like here, and you were like,
Dude, it was so bad. Dude, I was
fine.
watching it last night and I did the same thing. I had to slow it down to 0.5 to watch it because I was moving my head so much. And I was always constantly looking behind me to make sure I didn't have anybody behind me that I needed to like get out of the way for. So yeah, so watching on 0.5 speed.
0.5 speed. That would take our duration up to almost 20 minutes, and that feels unconscionable. So I'm not doing that.
Not doing that. All right. I can't wait to see what Jordan has in store for us, our premier editor. Okay. I have 2 red flags for you.
Okay.
2 red
Got
flags.
it.
So get your red flags ready here.
Got it. Yep.
Red flag number 1. No syrup on pancakes. That's a red flag.
Why is that a red flag? This was me, by the way, in case you can't tell. Why is that a red flag? Explain. State your case.
I think you're the first person I've met that refused to put syrup on their pancakes. Like,
it wasn't like I had nothing on it.
else,
There were chocolate chips in it, and there was butter on it.
Chocolate chips, yeah, and butter, yeah, chocolate chips and butter. But you need the syrup
wasn't
to
like
get
it
the
was
consistency
just
right. It's like
plain. No, you don't.
yes,
The consistency.
Yes,
No, I don't want my pancake to be soggy.
it's like the milk to cereal ratio's got to be right. It's the same thing with a pancake. You just eat a pancake with some butter and some chocolate chips. That's not going to cut it. Like, it's just going to be like eating bread.
It is bread. It's a pancake. It is bread.
Yes, but it's like dry. It's too dry. Like, I can't. It's like a lubricant. Okay, I need the lubricant.
That sounds like
that
sounds like a skill issue for you. That sounds like a skill issue. It's bread. Just, you mean to tell me that I don't get where can I reverse red flag you? Because I don't get where you're coming from with this.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yes. Go ahead.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Whatever.
Meanwhile, I took like the thing of pancake syrup that they gave us and I used half of it on my French toast. Oh,
right.
So
and it was I can't. Also, he didn't eat it all. He said, I don't think I can do this. And I put down the pancake that was the size of my head. You and I are not the same skill
That's
level.
so true.
We are not the same. I'm simply built different.
I'm simply built different. This is true. I was like full the entire rest of the day too. Like that was like, those are some filling AF French toast.
That was actually a really good call because we didn't end up having that much time to, get lunch or anything like that. Just because of the way we stacked our day. But the day before, I swear Richie wanted to eat like every 3 or 4 hours. And I was like, I'm so good, dude. I don't know what that was. You were like broken. Your metabolism was working overtime. Because he's like, are you hungry? I was like, no, we literally ate 2 hours ago. He's like, I'm going to get a pretzel. Okay.
Welcome to my world, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that might just be the way you are.
I'm just man versus food up in this joint.
I guess, except for not finishing your French toast. Okay, red flag on Richie. He put this on.
I finished.
No. That's all. That's all.
I finished 95% of the French toast. Okay.
That is true. It wasn't like he left half of it on his plate. I can't sell him that short. We'll move to our final red flag, which you put on the list yourself. But it's that Richie can't figure out. He desperately wants to understand this, which earns him at least a little bit of a half of a green flag because he wants to be involved. He's trying and he's putting in the effort. But his brain simply cannot comprehend the Chappell Roan hot to go dance. He can't get it. It is literally grade 2 of the YMCA. You are spelling with your body, and he can't figure it out. We were in the car leaving the AJR concert on Friday night, and he desperately wanted to understand, but he's like, it's too fast. I can't do it. Like it's level 2 YMCA. It's level 2. I don't know what about the processing speed is not comprehending here, but there's something there that is the cogs are stuck.
Yeah. Remember, what is the name of the show?
Yeah, that's true. 1 hour, 1 brain cell. And I had it at that moment and you didn't. That's okay.
Exactly. I'm still working on it. I'll try and figure it out eventually, but I need to go. She goes fast. I can do like, in slow motion.
Where was
Right.
what was your O here? Where are you? Yeah. That's an H.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
H. Touchdown.
If you ever want to flex on Richie, just do the hot to go dance because he can't keep up with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen my dancing in the dang open to the show too, so we know it's bad.
That's true. Well, it's not true that it's bad, but we have seen your dancing. He needs a little time to practice, I think. I think with a little practice, some repetition, might get a little better at this.
At least my effort at trying to harmonize to a Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper banger was at least better, I think.
That's true.
I feel like I did okay.
Yeah, there's no footage that exists of this, and it's probably better for both of us, but Richie actually did a stellar rendition of the first verse of Shallow as Lady Gaga. It was well done, and I wonder if that might make it into Joker 2 somehow. Have to wonder.
Please. All right, everybody. We're over an hour now, so that's cool. So we can wrap this bad boy up. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for watching. You can follow us wherever you get your social media at OHOBC Pod. Enjoy Torture Poets, which is out now. If by the time you're listening to this, enjoy the race footage that Jordan's putting together. There's some good stuff in there. So until next time, in which case we'll probably spend 3 hours breaking down the entirety of Torture Poets. We already know what episode 17 is going to be.
Yeah.
Here's the
that's
question.
all I
Who's
can
gonna have
say.
more...
Anybody who knows anything about our podcast knows that that's what's happening next week. Like,
yeah. Who's gonna have more listening hours, me or you?
For sure, me. You know, my
think so.
cumulative hours last year was astronomical.
Yes. Yeah, it was ridiculous. You listened to 10 times the amount of JB as I did, at least. So.
Yeah, I don't know what that says about the state of me, but my Spotify needs an SSRI.
Podcast title. Goodbye, everybody.